Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So I think I've got a brand new favorite tool. Well, it's really more of an implement. And if you could be in love with something that's not human, I would almost be in love with this thing. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. And I think it's going to solve some problems that I've been trying to solve around here for really a couple of years now, almost since we bought the farm. So hang around, let me show you what it is. Let's talk a little bit about it. We'll put it to work and we'll see just how it does here on the farm. So real quick before we get into talking about the new addition to the farm, you'll notice the piglet box is gone from our catch pen. We were able to catch those 5 piglets off of little mama over here. She farrowed right at 9 weeks ago now. We ended up catching those piglets. We weaned them off at about 8 weeks and 3 days, so we were right on time with them. But Big Mama, she had 5 piglets on her. We caught them a couple days ago, and we had the 3 females sold. So they have gone to their new home, and I've got the 2 males in a training / weaning pen down at the low part of the farm. We'll go down there and take a look at them. We went ahead and castrated those guys. Didn't catch any footage of that because the whole piglet catch project came about. I walked out on Saturday afternoon and fed those piglets over in this little catch pen here. All 5 of them came in. Perfect opportunity, so we were able to capture them in there, move them up into that box, and then wean them off. Little mama over here, she was let me tell you, buddy, she was not at all happy about what was going on, and she still is not. She's quite a bit grumpy whenever we come out. Yeah, she still ain't happy about that deal. But it was time. Again, those piglets, we weaned them off they were 8 weeks and about 3 days. And so definitely time to do that. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes, what we're here to talk about. So a few weeks ago, we done a video talking about some things that we were quitting. And we were talking about primarily the sheep. But in that video, we were also showing doing a little bit of mowing with our tractor, our 40 horsepower Kioti, and a flail mower that we had. And we were having quite a bit of difficulty with that flail mower whenever we were getting in some high, thick, tall grass. And I'd had that flail mower for about 2 years. That had always been the case. We were fine as long as we were in scrubby, brushy, kind of sparse material, but whenever we would get into some thick, heavy grass, that thing would just bog down. And showed that and had a lot of comments from viewers and really appreciate the feedback. And the common comment that I kept getting was that the tractor was underpowered for the machine. And the more I thought about that, I have decided that that probably was the case. So we have sold the flail mower. Good friend of mine bought it. He's got a bigger Kubota tractor, 47 horsepower, the M series. So I think he's got a much better machine to turn that thing and get better results from it than what we were getting. So this is what we ended up replacing it with. I found a Land Pride 60-inch 5-foot brush cutter on Craigslist for a what a deal. This is certainly new to us, but according to the previous owner, it had only been used a couple of times, maybe 3 times. He was trying to pull it with a 26 horsepower Kubota with a cab, and said that whenever he would turn the air conditioner, the radio, anything on, that he just did not have enough power to pull this thing. So it was time for it to go. Found it on Craigslist, went and looked at it. Great condition. It's a little bit dirty now because I got it out and used it a little bit the other night. Good condition. No issues whatsoever with the blades under it. Look like they were brand new. Very few nicks and chips and that kind of thing. But we put this thing to use the other night and mowed this field, which was heavy, thick, tall grass, and it went through it like a champ. So let's go out. We're going to do a little bit of mowing with this thing, kind of show you how it works. Really kind of figuring it out right now. Doesn't seem to be complicated at all. I didn't have any trouble with it the other day. Our mower evolution around here has been well, it's been a twisted road. When we first bought this property, I had about an 18 horsepower, 4-speed, 2-wheel drive with turf tires and a belly mower Kubota. That was the tractor that we had. Ended up buying a Woods finish mower. Tried to mow with that for a little while. That didn't do very well at all. It was just for the, we couldn't cut any brush or anything. It was good on grass, but that was about it. Ended up selling that tractor and the mower. Bought this tractor and bought a flail mower shortly thereafter, and y'all kind of know how that went. And so now we've upgraded to a brush cutter. So let's take this thing down to the lower part of the farm. We'll run it through some grass, some brush, some stuff, and we'll take a look at this thing, see what kind of job it does. This is the field that we're going to put this mower to work on. Kind of varied. We've got some sparse areas like this here where we've had some pigs and the grass just hadn't come back up, where they were kind of rough on the ground. And then we've got some areas like this right here, which is really, really thick. And this is where we had put out a hay bale for our gilts back in the winter to kind of give them some dry bedding and also prevent a little bit of erosion where we had some bare spots and was getting a little bit of runoff. And you can certainly see the value of putting that hay bale down and just letting them spread it out. So we've got a nice, good, heavy, thick stand of grass right here. So we'll run the bush hog through it, or the brush cutter. So apparently brush cutter is the appropriate terminology for this piece of machinery, because bush hog is a brand, and that flail mower that we had was a bush hog brand. This is a Land Pride brand. Yeah, brush cutter is the appropriate term for such a critter. So all right, let's fire this thing up. We'll do a little mowing. It's getting kind of late in the evening. Sun's sitting kind of low, so let's see what kind of damage we can do with this thing. up coming down the hill. I initially was going to start up there, but ended up coming down here because this was a lot thicker grass, and I really just wanted to kind of try it out on this thicker, heavier stuff. This area that we just got done mowing, this is the area that about 2 years ago now, this was a thick stand of sweet gum saplings, all somewhere between 1 and 3 inches in diameter, so thick you couldn't even walk through here. And we had the forestry mulcher guy come in, mowed all of this down. We ran pigs across it, let them kind of stomp that carbon in, and then a few days before we moved them off, we overseeded this with some stuff, and now it's just thick, heavy grass. And I mean, it looks really, really nice. So I want to bring the mower down and try it out on what I thought would be a little bit more of a challenge. So, does really good. There are a couple of things, and I think it's just the nature of the beast with a brush cutter. You don't get a real pretty manicured look, to be expected, because I mean, this thing is 5 foot. It's got 2 big old heavy rotating blades in there. It basically beats the grass into submission, I think. So you really don't get that pretty manicured look. That's fine. This is a pasture. That doesn't matter. I have to be a lot more careful now when I'm turning and swinging, because when I was running the flail mower, you know, I had about out to here on the flail mower on the back. Now I've got a lot more area, or a lot more equipment behind me, so I've got to be careful when I'm swinging around so that I don't hit this thing on a tree or a stump, or you know, something that might be kind of close. So a little bit more hanging off the rear. So just gotta pay attention to that. Don't know that that's a con, but that is just something to be thinking about. Couple pros, a lot of pros actually. Number one, and this is the one that really has me excited, I can mow a lot faster with this. If I had tried to mow this area here with that flail mower, it would have took at least 3 times as long, because of how heavy and thick this stuff is, and just having to go either half a swipe at a time or just go really, really slow. So it would have taken a lot more time to do it. So the speed at which you can mow, definite pro here. It's a lot quieter than the flail mower. That thing sounded like you were tearing, you know, putting a car in a crusher or something. I mean, it just made a lot of noise. This is a lot quieter. That gearbox, really, really quiet. You don't have the knives that are flipping around. You just got the 2 blades under there that are spinning really fast. So it is a lot quieter, and that's nice. You know, my head's not roaring when I get off. And actually, I do wear hearing protection. I don't know if anybody, you know, I know sometimes folks get kind of torqued up about safety stuff, but I do use these 3M work tunes. They're Bluetooth. I just connect them to my phone and listen to music while I'm buzzing around. I'll post a link in the description down below for a set of those. Love these things. I've had these for about a year now. They're fantastic. So yeah, very pleased with the mower, pleased with the quality of cut that it does. I probably could go back and get some of this higher stuff with a second pass. I've also noticed that this thing does seem to mow a little bit better when you're going backwards. So that's kind of interesting to me, in that it mows a little cleaner, looks a little more manicured when you're going backwards. For those of you that have got brush cutters, leave me a comment, any tips, tricks, things that you found that makes your machine work better, cut cleaner, anything you think might be of a benefit to help me get a little bit more work out of this thing. I sure would appreciate that. So yeah, very happy with it. Again, it's the Land Pride RCR 1260, and pretty happy with this thing. So second time using this thing, so far pretty happy with it. Just need to practice a little bit more, get a little more seat time using this thing, kind of learn some of the nuances. I know every piece of equipment's got, you know, the nuances, and you got to kind of figure out some of those kind of little tips and tricks for that individual piece of equipment. But anyway, I'm gonna post a link to a couple other videos over here, some other stuff got going on. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and follow along with us. I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.